Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you. We'll start in a seated cross-legged pose, Sukhasana. And if that's not a comfortable pose, to focus on your breath for a few minutes. Feel free to lay on your back or choose another seated position that helps you facilitate your breath. And close your eyes or soften your gaze on a fixed spot in front of you. And breathe. Just notice your breath. Notice it as it enters your body and moves, and then leaves on an exhale. Try not to change your breath or judge it in any way. Just let it come in and out. And together, we'll do a 3-part breath series. Start by inhaling through the nose and then exhaling it all out. Then on an inhale, we'll breathe into our lower belly, expanding as if we're inflating a balloon. Then exhale, bringing your navel towards your spine, deflating that balloon. Inhale into the belly, and then in through the ribs, expanding your ribs. Exhale to contract those ribs and lower the belly, drawing in. Inhale into the belly, into the ribs, then into the chest, perhaps taking another sip of air to expand up to your shoulder blades, collarbones. Exhale it out. Chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Then return to your own breath at your own pace. If you're not there already, meet me in a cross-legged position. And together we'll inhale our arms up to the sky, fingertips reaching up. And then exhale down. Inhale again, arms to the sky. Reaching your fingertips up, shoulder blades go down, up, down your back. Exhale down. And we'll inhale our arms up to the sky and take a seated side stretch. On an exhale, your right hand drops near your hips. And inhale, your left fingertips reach up and then over, stretching your left side, expanding, keeping your left sit bones planted. And then exhale down through your right side. Inhale to expand. Exhale it out. Inhale, hands back up to the sky. We'll take it to the left side. Left hand goes down. Right fingers reach up, then over, expanding that right side. And if you'd like to intensify your stretch, you can bring your left hand out a little further. Bring it in closer. This is a good time to notice that while all of our bodies are unique, each side of our body is unique. So something that may serve you on one side may be different on another. Inhale your hands back up to the sky. We'll take a seated twist. Right hand goes gently behind you and left hand reaches towards your right knee. On an inhale, lift tall up through the crown of your head, and exhale, twist from your core. You might bring your gaze over your right shoulder or somewhere in between. Inhale, arms back up to the sky. Exhale to the left. Inhale to expand up. Exhale to twist. And you might take your hands lightly up off the ground, off your knee, to make sure the twist is coming from your core. Inhale back up to the sky. Then as we exhale, plant your hands and either roll over your knees or shift your legs around to come to tabletop all fours. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide, and your knees on the mat about hip distance apart. You can press the tops of your feet into the mat or tuck your toes, whichever is more comfortable. And we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow with our breath. Inhaling for cow pose, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, and press your chest through your upper arms. Head tilts back. Exhale for cat pose, drop your tailbone, lift your belly up, and press the upper back into an arch shape. You can tuck your chin. Inhale, cow pose, shining your heart forward. Exhale, cat pose. And perhaps you press your hands a little stronger into the mat to the point where you can lift your knees slightly, enhancing that upper back arch. Let's take a few rounds of cat-cow on your own breath, your own pace. And make the shapes your own. You might want to wag your tail, imaginary tail, or bend your elbows, roll your belly in cat pose. Taking the stretch that feels good to you right now. And we'll meet back in a neutral spine. On your next exhale, I'll bring you to child's pose. Knees go wide, big toes can touch. As you melt your hips back towards your heels, your chest and forehead reaches towards the mat. And if wide knees are not comfortable, you can keep your knees together and even bring your hands back towards your feet for an embryo pose. Whichever you choose, breathe into your belly. If forehead on the mat is not comfortable, you can stack your palms to make a pillow for your head. Then our next exhale brings us to downward facing dog. Press your heels back down towards the mat, but they don't need to touch. Mine certainly don't. Your hips go up and back, and you press through your palms and all 10 fingers to lengthen your side body, chest back towards thighs. On our first downward facing dog of class, you might want to widen your feet a bit or widen your hands. Bend at the knees, maybe one at a time, or high up on the toes. Pedal your feet out. An inhale brings us high up on our toes, and small steps up to meet our hands towards the front of the mat. Placing our feet wider apart, wider than hip distance, and bending deeply at the knees for ragdoll. Your chest can come to lay on your thighs as you curve your back over and release your neck and head, bending and swaying, really embodying a ragdoll. You might want to grab opposite elbows here and shake your head yes. Shake your head no. We'll roll up one vertebrae at a time to high mountain pose, Tadasana. Your head is the last thing to come up as your hands reach up actively towards the sky. Your feet are your stable foundation. See if you can ground all four corners of each foot into the mat. Hips over ankles, shoulders over hips. Reach your arms up to shrug your shoulders, and then slide your shoulder blades down your back to create space between your shoulders and ears. And breathe. Exhale for hands at heart, Samasthiti. Feel the even pressure between your hands pressing together. Inhale for chair pose. We bend our knees, weight shifts back to your heels, and arms reach up. And like all our yoga and beer classes, take the bend that feels right to you today at this moment, whether it's a deep bend or a bar stool height. Hands can come back to heart center. And we're looking for a flatter back, a flatter tailbone, not a sassy back. Exhale, forward fold. You straighten your knees and hinge at the hips, but keep your knees soft here as your back comes down. Hands can go to your calves to help with that fold. Inhale for half lift, placing your hands on your shins or thighs and straightening your back like tabletop or all fours. Exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back to plank pose or all fours. Dropping your knees is just fine here. Inhale to glide forward and exhale to lower your chest and chin to mats. Try to have them reach at the same time if you can, or drop to your knees. Your elbows reach back behind you towards your midline. Then if your feet are not there, flip to the tops of your feet, pressing into the mat, lifting your knees, press your pelvic bones into the mat as you reach forward and then up for baby cobra. Exhale, back down to the mat. Inhale, tuck your toes, back up to plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees deeply. And exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. And you can use a hand to assist here, that's just fine. Drop your left knee for low lunge. Inhale your hands up to the sky for Anjaneyasana. We're looking for squared hips here, straight forward. Your front hip goes back and down. Your back hip goes forward and up to help straighten. Exhale, hands underneath your shoulders and straighten that front knee. With a flat back, reach forward for half splits. You can bend and stretch and flex your foot here, or windshield wiper. Inhale, pressing into your right foot and then the ball of your back toe, lifting up for high crescent lunge. Arms reach up, squaring your hips again, or you can keep your hands on your hips here. This is a balance pose as well as a strength and stretch pose. So if you're feeling a little teeter-tottery, move your feet a little wider apart on the mat like railroad tracks rather than a tightrope. Exhale, back down to the mat. Inhale, step your back foot forward to your right for half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands at heart. Inhale for chair pose. And here I like to look down at my toes. If I can't see all 10 of them, I'll shift my hips back weight back in your heels. Exhale, forward fold. That flatter back. Inhale for half lift, reaching the crown of your head forward. Exhale, plant your hands and step back to plank. All of your body is activated here. Inhale to glide forward. You come to your knees. Exhale, lower to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, back down to the mat. Inhale, plank or all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, step that left foot forward between your hands. Drop your right knee and reach up for Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits. And here, think of the stretches coming from the back of the hamstring between the back of your knee and the base of your glute muscle. Inhale up to high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Inhale, step back foot forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands at heart. And breathe. Now we'll flow on each side with our breath. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, lower to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank or all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, step right foot forward. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, back foot forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands at heart. Left side, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale for plank. Glide forward, inhale. Exhale, lower to mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank or all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, step left foot forward, low lunge. Inhale for Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step back foot forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. Exhale, hands at heart, Samastiti. Beautiful, everyone. We'll inhale for chair pose. And keeping in mind you have your choice of lower down, mid-range, or bar stool. I have always liked chair pose, but when I heard that an English translation from Sanskrit for chair pose meant fierce seat, I like it even more. We'll forward fold here. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, step back for plank pose. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, bring your knees down to the mat. And we'll plant our feet, pressing into the tops of our feet for downward upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, step right foot forward. Out for a high crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, warrior two. In warrior two, our arms are reaching out, our feet are planted, our right heel here and our left heel, I think of them as pulling towards each other as we rotate our left thigh out. Inhale for reverse warrior. Your right hand sweeps up and over, and we're stretching through our right side. Our left hand could go down towards the floor. Inhale for side stretch. Our right hand goes to the top of our thigh. Left hand reaches up and over. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, back foot forward for half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky. Mountain pose. Exhale, hands at heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back for plank or all fours. Inhale to glide forward. And exhale, upward facing dog. We're suspending our weight between our hands. You're welcome to come down to cobra here. Exhale, up, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend at the knees. Exhale, step left foot forward, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, back down to low lunge. Inhale, step back foot forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the sky, mountain pose. Exhale, hands at heart, Samasthiti. Now during a full-in class, I would extend that standing pose feature, but here I will take us down to the mat, back into seated cross-legged pose. Hands up to the sky for another stretch. Lifting your side body. And exhale, hinging at our hips to reach forward. And for some, this might be enough of a stretch. If that's so, you can put your hands behind your back for some stability. If you're good with this or looking for more, you can reach a little further forward, keeping a length in your spine. Inhale back up. And then we'll swing ourselves around to lie down on the mat. Hugging your knees into your chest. Maybe rocking side to side here. Giving yourself a lower back massage that most of us really enjoy. Inhale and bring our arms out to either a T or a cactus shape, depending on how much space you have. Check that your shoulder blades are both in contact with the earth. And exhale, Bring your knees both, drop them over to the right side. Keeping that left shoulder blade down if you can. Your gaze can go over your left shoulder or keep it straight forward. Oh, my back cracks in this one, always, always. And here, if you'd like to deepen your stretch, maybe bring your right hand to your left knee, thigh. You can stretch that leg out. Bring it back in. Inhale, knees back up through center. Exhale over to the left side. Again, keeping in mind that each side of our body is different. And what feels like a needed stretch or a good stretch on one side may be different on the other, and that's just fine. Inhale back to center. And exhale, extend your feet out long in front of you and raise your arms up, keeping them on the mat, on the earth, and behind you for a good morning stretch, no matter what time of the day. Get that delicious stretch, like you're on vacation and don't have to get out of bed yet stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring your hands back down by your side, palms facing up for Shavasana, corpse pose. And some might find it more restorative to bend your knees and press your feet flat on the mat, wide on the mat. And then bring your knees together. Come back to your breath here, breathing in, breathing out. On a warm day, I like to think of a cool mist rising from a waterfall, rising up in through my chest. As I inhale, and then exhale, let it go. Now for a full-length class, I'd have Shavasana about 1/10 of the class time. But to not have you sit through a full class today, roll over to our side, back into a comfortable sitting pose, or stay in Shavasana if you prefer. Thank you so much for joining me today. Yoga in Beer has been such an inspiration to me. It's led me back to yoga after years of yoga at the gym and then losing interest in the fact that that yoga wasn't very fulfilling. Yoga and Beer in the community has fed my soul first and expanded my horizons. And I thank you for this opportunity. The light within my soul honors the light within your soul.